now we're going to get to one of my favourite tools, which is actually this one here, which is the rate stretch tool. Basically, we're going to make things go faster and slower in Premiere Pro with a simple tool that we can just drag to the right length, to the right speed, however we want. And there are some tremendous uses for this particular tool. It's a lot more useful than you think. But to quickly demonstrate it, I'm going to take this clip here of the boat coming into harbour. I'm going to drag it and drop it onto the new sequence icon and let go, and create a new sequence that's going to be the same length as that particular piece of footage. I'm going to zoom in just a tad, and we've got this boat coming into harbour. If I play it at the standard rate, turn off the audio so we don't have to listen to the audio, and this is its standard speed. Agonisingly slow. Right, so say we want the whole thing to go a lot quicker. If we choose this rate stretch tool and we go to the end, we get this icon which has got a sort of a red bracket and a two-way arrow, one going up and one going down. And to make the whole thing go quicker, I simply click at the end and then pull the whole clip in, so that now the whole thing will be 10 seconds long. And when I let go, the clip is now shrunk and it's going to play a lot quicker. I've got a red render bar up here, and this means that it might not play back in real time. Now, just because it shows a red render bar doesn't actually mean it won't play back in real time. And if I actually want to see if it's playing back in real time and it's not dropping any frames, there is a little tool that we can have which is up here in the panel menu for the program monitor. And if I drop down here, you'll see that we've got something that says Show Drop Frame Indicator, and when you click on that, a little light comes up green. And when it's green, it means we're not dropping any frames, but if it goes to yellow, it means we're dropping frames. It's just an indicator, but it helps us to see what's going on. So let's just hit the space bar and see what happens. So now within 10 seconds, the boat's coming into harbour, and you'll see that we didn't drop any frames. But what if we want to make it 5 seconds long? Well, we simply go to the end of the clip again and drag it to it's at 5 seconds long. And now the whole clip will take place in 5 seconds. And again, we can watch and see if we've got any drop frames. So I'm going to hit the space bar to play, and you can see it's bombing along and arriving in harbour. So that's the actual item. Now at the moment, when I stop playing, it stops. If I want it to loop around, here's another option. I can actually go here to my panel menu again, and you'll see that I've actually got a loop option here. If I click the loop option, it will loop around again. So if I hit the space bar, it's going to get to the end in 5 seconds, and it's just going to start again. So you do have an option to be able to loop. You can also add a loop button from here. Here's the loop button if you actually want to add a loop button in, or you can make it loop from the panel menu. I'm just going to click cancel, and I'm going to turn loop off. I don't need it to loop at this precise minute, although when it comes to editing, looping is a marvellous option because you can dynamically edit while it loops, which is something new for CS6. Now, what if I want to make it go a lot slower? I'm going to Control Z a few times to take it back to its original length. Now, if I want to make it go a lot slower, I can pull it out to 30-35 seconds if I want. Simply click at the end and drag it out to say 35 seconds or 40 seconds or however long you want. Now, it is going to play back very slowly. Let's just take it to this point and hit space bar. You'll see that it plays back very slowly. And that's okay, we're going very slowly, but when we speed things up, Premiere Pro is going to drop frames out so that it can play it at the right speed. But when we slow things down, this is PAL footage, it's got 25 frames per second. But if I make it go for 2 seconds as opposed to 1 second, that means I need to make 25 frames last for 50 frames. So there is actually a little option that we have here under clip. We've got video options, and it says here frame blend. If you choose frame blend, it does a slightly better job of making things look a lot smoother as it plays back in slow motion. Just one of those options. You can also get to it from a right click option, by the way, so you can see you've got frame blend here by just right clicking on the slowed down clip. You don't need to do it for a speeded up clip because it's going to drop frames, but for a slowed down clip it's going to need to add frames in. So that's the rate stretch tool. When would I use the rate stretch tool? Well, sometimes when you're doing an edit and you need to fit a clip in here, you've only got, say, 3 seconds of footage, but the space is 3.5 seconds long because of an edit point from something else. So what you can do is you can drop the clip in and then rate stretch it out. It'll go a little bit slower, but it'll fill the gap. Or say you've got a piece of action that you need to drop into a slot. The action is 7 seconds long, but the slot is only 6 seconds long. But you don't want to lose any of the action. You want all the action to be included. So what you do is you drop the clip onto the layer above, and then you rate stretch it down to 6 seconds, and then you drop it into the gap or leave it where it is, and then you've got all the action. It's a little bit quicker, but you've still got all the action within the space that you needed to have it in. So the rate stretch tool is great for slow motion or for speeding items up, but it's actually even more useful for making clips fit in the space that you have available for them without losing any of the action. In the next tutorial we're going to look at the slip and at the slide tools and try and understand exactly what's going on with those.